All right, hello everyone. My name is Reneescutti, and I'm back with my co-host Liz.Cullinan. This week, we will get into a little bit of detail about our school life. That includes college, and that includes school life growing up as well. We'll also talk about our mobility and topics along that line. So, how we got around school, how we navigated daily life, that kind of thing. So, I'll let Liz start this week. Go ahead.
Hi, hello everyone. As you know, I've my college and my life has been harder, a little bit hard as Renee's, and one of the weirdest things is that I started school way earlier than normal than other people. I started when I was 2 because I had to go through all the therapies. I had to go through physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. I did that for I think till I was first grade, kindergarten to first grade, I believe, as I did that. Then, when I started to walk, we realized that I need to have braces. And then I was in the braces for a while. Then after that, I moved to first grade once. And then all the rest of the time, I had an aide from, I think, kindergarten all the way to fourth grade. I had an aide that helped me walk and helped me with like schoolwork and all that. Then when I moved down to Maryland, when I was in between fourth grade and fifth grade, we decided that I wasn't going to be needing it. So, because all my classes at that time were all on one hallway. So we did that for a while, and then that's when we decided I wasn't going to need an aide. And then when I hit sixth grade, all the craziness of trying to get to class on time, as you remember. So what we did, I think we did, is that my mom and my dad talked to the teacher, or I think it was the principal at the time, IEP meeting.
Did you have an IEP? Yeah, I was getting ready to ask that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. What we did is that we had it as I would leave 5 minutes early from one class to get to the other class before everyone else, so that we
That's
don't
what my
have to,
parents did for me.
because we did not want to deal with all of that craziness getting bumped around every 5 minutes.
Right.
And then also what we did is my locker was on the bottom from sixth grade, seventh grade at Bel Air. Then I went to Patterson for my eighth grade year.
So when I was at Bel Air, we had lockers that went from, they were basically to the floor lockers. They were these long.
Yeah, that's what I did. But when I was in eighth grade, we had the shelves, like the top and bottom lockers.
See, yeah, we had the whole, like, they would take up the entire wall. It was like a long locker that would take up the entire wall. I always had a locker on the end because it was easier for me.
Yeah, and that's what I did too. I believe so. Until I hit Patterson, and then I just had a locker on the end. And then you remember when you had to get out of the bus?
Yeah, I
My
remember.
like when I was in school from first grade all the way to fourth, I had a bus driver that wouldn't let me drive the regular school bus at the time.
Right,
Then my mom, being my mom, you know,
right.
she talked to them and they explained that they were just concerned. I'm like, I can walk on top of it. I Because I crawled up the stairs, they got concerned.
So
Kindergarten.
for me, when I was riding the bus, I didn't actually start climbing the school bus stairs until um I didn't start climbing the school bus stairs until probably ninth grade. And here's the reason for that. Up until that point, I was always in a stroller or a wheelchair. Um, so I was always in the back of the bus strapped down with one of those.
Oh, don't
Um,
even. I never had to do that, but I've seen it happen.
right. So I was always strapped down in the back. So I really didn't get a chance to start climbing the school bus stairs until ninth grade. And then I rode the bus pretty much until my senior year of high school. Um, and at that point, you know that I have a scooter for long distances.
Yep.
So for those of you who don't know, I have a fairly small compared to others.
No, it's
Elect
not. It's medium size.
it's well, it's so I have a medium-sized scooter that I use for long distances. It's not the fact that I can't walk, it's just that for longer distances sometimes it tends to use a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to take the scooter and just take a ride to wherever I need to go.
Yeah.
And especially that became helpful when I started attending college. It was something that my doctors recommended because college campuses, even the smaller community colleges, are big.
Yes. I
And
remember. Do you remember when like all the classes, like all of my classes were in one or two buildings?
right,
One of my classes, which I was so grateful for, was right in the cafeteria area.
right.
So what I did is that I went to breakfast in the cafeteria before class, and then after breakfast, I would go to my first class.
So I had a scooter, well, have a scooter for long distances. And so I would use that to get around college campuses. And especially when I was at Millersville, I would, so I would also have the opportunity through my IEP and even through college, if I just talked to my professors, they were fine with it. But I also had the opportunity to leave a few minutes early from classes to avoid the crowds and get around school and get where I needed to be. That was also in my IEP. Um, but I had a scooter as well to get around the college campuses. And especially for me, certain classes, especially when I was at Millersville, they would be some of them halfway across campus and or all the way across campus on the other end. So that became helpful, especially because Millersville is not a huge campus,
I know.
but it's, I mean, it's small compared to other colleges, I would think, but it's still it's quite a walk for someone like for someone like us that like we need the extra time to get around and get to
Yeah.
places and things. But so I had a
I
scooter and I still use it. So
I forgot to tell you about my high school years. I forgot to
yeah,
explain that. Also, in my high school years, because I was at Tech, for technical high school, a lot of my classes were like on the top floor, sometimes were in the middle floor, sometimes were in the bottom floor.
right,
But what I did was that I asked for my mom requested that I get a key, an elevator key. So what I did, because my first class, my homeroom class, was at the bottom floor. And me trying to climb up those stairs with all the books in my arms because they didn't want me to have a backpack until my mom lied
right,
to them
right,
nicely, but talked to them and explained that that had to happen.
right.
And it took them a really long time for them to actually accept the backpack to the point where they had me use a side saddle, like a side,
Yeah, a messenger bag.
yeah. So I had to use that for carrying all my books. I'm like on my left shoulder.
So I had a messenger bag, but so for those of you who don't know, I used to use a walker. I don't anymore because that that was just for protection, especially in the hallways for like middle and high school. People don't pay attention. And if I'm on
Nope.
crutches, and someone isn't paying attention, they could easily kick the crutch out from under me and I could trip or fall or something.
Yeah.
So when I was in middle and and elementary school, so all through school, I used a walker
Yeah.
and for protection. So I had a messenger bag on the side of my walker that I could put my books into, or some form of bag, some form of
Now,
something that made it easier for me to carry books. And when I got to Beller High, because that school was a three-floor building, I also had an elevator key.
yeah.
Eventually, what had to happen was they gave me the elevator key because people that didn't need the elevators were using it. So they gave me a key to, okay, once you activate the elevator, lock the elevator so people can't use it.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember if this happened, but I do remember at my school when I was in high school. I believe when I got the key, I didn't have to go through that process that you did with
Right.
people blocking it and
Mm.
using it when I was doing it. But what I only used the key for 2 years. Then what we also did, which was really kind of them, is that my books that I used for class, I got extra books for my home.
Yep, that's what they did for me too.
Yeah, so all my books, that's also including middle school. What
Yeah,
they
so we
did is
didn't have
that,
to carry it back and forth and made it easier for us. Yeah,
yeah,
right. That's
and
some of my teachers let me do that too.
and the best part was is that my mom was able to carry it for me, like carry the books. Just like we had a specific area for all the books for me, which was really kind of them, and I loved that. I just wish other schools did that
Yeah,
for people like us, you
right.
know?
Yeah, it's easier for accessibility reasons. It's easier.
My middle school years, I had issues with writing because,
Mhm.
writing one-handed, not easy to do.
So, are you
Typing?
left-handed?
Yes. I thought you
Okay.
knew. I've been left-handed all my life. I thought you knew.
No, I did not know that,
Yeah, this
but
hand
it
doesn't.
makes sense.
Yeah, I can use it. I can use this arm, but
Not
it
easily
takes
though.
a. Yes. So what we did is that I was allowed to use a computer in college to type up all my notes. But then I also had a note taker that helped me get better notes for college.
So I
So
was always, not always, but sometimes I would be, sometimes my teachers would give me printouts of the notes because I was a slow note taker.
yeah, and that's what
Either
they also
that,
did with me.
either that, or I did also have an aide for pretty much all of my schooling career. I went to Bel Air Middle. I had another, I
Aid.
want to say I had two or three aides in middle school.
Yeah, because you had one for sixth grade, one for seventh, and one through eighth, right?
Right, and then I would have aides that would help me between classes and things like that.
Yeah. What they
Um,
did for me is that because of my disability and stuff with my left eye, did I
you have
ever
a
tell you
wanderer,
that?
right?
Yeah, that lazy eye.
I have one of those too. It's
So
my
what
right
they
eye, I
yeah, it's
think.
my left eye. It's kind of fun.
Yeah,
Two separate eyes every single time.
right.
But as I was saying, with middle school, what they did is that I could pick my seat so I could be
Right,
able to see
right.
because blind eye.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had, my teachers would give me either a seat in the front or depending in the back, and that's when they would give me the printouts because depending on whether I could see
Yeah.
the board or
What
something.
they did, they also still gave me the printouts, but they gave it to what they did. I actually liked it in middle school, mostly in being actually at Bel Air. Mostly what they did is that they had me still write out like the best as I can kind of situation, like the best I can for writing, like how much I
Hmm.
could write for the notes,
Yeah,
and then they still gave me that notes by PowerPoint.
to have it in case you miss anything. Right.
Yes. And that's what I liked about it. And
Yeah,
then,
flexibility,
yeah,
exactly.
when I had surgery, because I had two surgeries, no, technically, actually, three surgeries in my 2 years at Bel Air at the time. I had a lot of testing I had to do that quarter, that whole quarter. I couldn't test because I had my first surgery in sixth grade during first quarter,
Right.
and my brain was still a little healing in the
Foggy.
healing
Yeah.
phase. So what they did is that I still took the test, but I had as much time as I could to take it.
Right. Or you were given extra time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always given extra time on IEPs. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with all the testing that I did in like high school, middle school, elementary school. They
Right.
took me out of class so I can have that time alone to take the test by myself so that I can learn it. And that's what I liked.
Right. Right.
And then when we were in college, that the testing area,
Right. Yeah.
they allowed me to take it in the testing area.
Right. So, for those of you who don't know, just to give you some background, I was originally a social work major and then changed majors and went from Millersville University to Hartford Community College. And that's how that was my major change. So at the community college, I got into mass comm and loved it. So when we say testing center, we're talking about the community college, Hartford Community College. Speaking of school, for those of you who don't know, I will actually be starting my bachelor's degree in communication studies online next month through
Go, sister. You got this, sister.
through University of Maryland Global Campus. So I will be starting that next month, part time. So I'm really looking forward to that. We do
Okay.
plan to continue this podcast long term. So I want to say that. Um, so we do plan to do that.
I also liked the Hartford Community College because what I could do is just walk over to my mom's school after work, after school.
That's right, because your mother teaches.
Yes, she
She's a
does.
science teacher.
Mm-hmm. At Harper Tech, and it's right across the street.
Right.
Ever since we started this podcast, we talk more. And like, I tell you when I'm about to explode with issues, and when you're about to explode, you call me.
Sometimes when we have issues or whatever the case is, and we need somebody to just, vent to. That's what Liz and I do. We vent to each other. We call each other and we just vent for probably what, half an
45 minutes
hour or
to an hour?
so? Half an hour to an hour? Yeah. I mean, that's what we do. And that's, to be honest, that's part of our bond too. It's not just about, oh, how, we have X, Y, and Z in common and we have this experience and we have this experience and we share these experiences from school and all that. It's more than that. It's it's this deep bond that just forms. If you have a really close friend, some people just, for lack of a better way of saying it, some people just click. And I think that's what happened with Liz and I. Is we just got along so well immediately when we met, and that has been part of our bond since. So it's not just about, oh, we have X, Y, and Z in common. It's also about, oh, I have a friend that I feel comfortable enough opening up to and can say anything to it. And that's really honestly that is the core of, I would say, this friendship is that we can get along together and we can tell each other anything.
Yeah, and like that's the best thing that we've noticed is like ever since we met, especially at your confirmation that we did so long ago.
10 years ago almost.
Yeah, like how much fun we had with that. And
And we
like,
still have fun.
yeah, we do. And like when she brought up doing this podcast, I was absolutely thrilled to do this
Right.
podcast. And like this is what we needed to do years ago. We should have started this years ago. But
But
now that we're doing it now, I feel like it's the best thing.
right. Right. And it's not just about us. It's about how can we use our experience to encourage other people. Um so it's really good to be back in touch and to be doing this and to be just reconnecting, which reconnecting, that's a story that we will tell in another episode. So stay
Yeah.
tuned for that. But that is a story for another episode.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Do you have anything else, girl?
Nope, I'm good. So thank you guys so much for
Yep.
watching.
Thank you.
And we will be back next week with another episode. Until then, my name's Renee Scuddy.
I'm Elizabeth Cullinan.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take
Yep.
care.